Top Boy. The highly anticipated season 4 not 2 is now upon us after a 2-year hiatus.
I got a present for you.
But is it any good? Feel free to like and subscribe and let's find out. Top Boy came out 10 years ago. It was a pretty good show. It represented that London road life, rude boy life. Then it went dormant. End of 2019 it came back on via Netflix. So the 3rd season, they really came with it. They brought their A game. Then what happened? COVID kicked into play. And then we had to wait an extended period of time to get another season, right? The 4th season comes out. First of all, let's really get to it. They incorporated an unnecessary plot line. Jackie's sister, Lauren had to leave after the events of the 3rd season. We now see Lauren living in, I don't even know if it's Manchester or Liverpool, first of all, with these fake cartoon bad guy, Scouser, Moss Side Manchester characters, and a narcissistic weirdo guy who's not letting her even leave the room.
She's pregnant to a psycho, and that psycho's got a psycho sister.
Let's really get into it. This is one of the main points of this video. What you would expect to be a side storyline with Lauren hiding in Manchester or Liverpool, I don't know where that is, then actually became the main plot with these fake weirdo baddies.
Who are you on the phone to then, eh?
A dude who's going out with Lauren, she's pregnant, he doesn't let her leave the house because he's a controlling maniac. Lauren was the party girl from Hackney. She's essentially the mixed race version of Bianca and Tiffany from EastEnders. She's just the East London party girl. Now the whole thing literally just becomes about her domestic abuse from this fake character, bruv.
Alright, don't stress, Lauren.
That dude looks like the Red Dwarf guy's 15th removed long lost cousin.
Through a straw.
He gets a second, please.
He looks like Gennaro from Gomorrah and Hugo Drax from Moonraker, that stupid James Bond film with Roger Moore. He just got a certain look where you think you're ticking 1,000,000 boxes. So you feel like you're getting a Toxtith / Moss Side representation and you're getting this super baddie. Piss off, this ain't James Bond, bruv. This is Top Boy. This show is about rude boys from Hackney, quote unquote, shotting food.
Come here to get your permission to shot food.
More food.
When a woman is being domestically abused, psychologically, physically, by a man, yeah, it's actually worse than when a woman's abusing a man, right? But what I'm saying is, this is starting to feel a bit on the woke spectrum. You want a domestic violence thing to be cutting edge, but it's not cutting edge because it's the same trope from the 20th century. Men are patriarchal and women are victims. Yeah. Yet at the same time, this is the era of boss babes. And like I say, let me clarify, it's always worse when a woman's severely abused by a man than vice versa. But prolifically, we know now in the age of boss babes, it's more women manipulating men than vice versa. So that's that thing. And the Lauren character, she was fun and sassy and bubbly. They just turned her into a pregnant victim. Like, I don't want to watch Sleeping with the Enemy, yeah?
I can't live without you.
Sleeping with the enemy.
I won't let you live without me.
Bruv, it's eerie when you see these films and TV shows when a woman's just being abused by a man and don't leave the house. Where did you go? Give me your phone. Who wants to watch that, bruv? Like, it's just eerie and creepy. On top of that, so many missed opportunities. Let me really break this down right now. Jamie was the most promising, invigorating part of the 3rd season on Netflix. The 1st season on Netflix, the Jamie character. F***ing love that guy, yeah? So much potential there.
Bro, sit down, man.
Unit.
He's like the Shane 10, 15 years ago. A 10, 15 year younger version of the Shane. Alright, fine. It's like a real young versus older type adversarial situation. This is a spoiler rant, so here we go with the spoilers. They just f***ing kill Jamie when he didn't even get to show his full potential. Sully could see how disloyal Jamie was because he's prepared to kill his best friend. So therefore Sully preemptively kills Jamie before Jamie can become the man that Sully fears Jamie will become. We didn't get to see any of Jamie's potential. At least demonstrate a bit more potential before you kill him off, yeah? Make him, I'll give you an analogy right now, Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway, a basketball player in the 90s. Bruv, by the 2nd season, he was sick. No look rebounds behind the back. He's even putting game on Jordan.
Hardaway, oh, beautiful dish, and Grant with the jam. The elevation now, Michael's had 2
But then he got injured. He got injured before he got to show his full, like he could have become an all-time great player. But he still demonstrated potential. It wasn't just potential. He demonstrated what he could have done. So have Jamie be like the Penny Hardaway of Top Boy, where for a little bit he's kind of running shit. You killed him off too quickly. The other major missed opportunity was the Khali Best character.
Who the f*** are you talking to, blood? Did he look at your face, man? Blood, I do. I fucking want, man.
from Blue Story.
Hey, come here. What you saying now, though, cuz? What you saying? Where you from?
The ghetto boy, the Lewisham New Cross dude. When Top Boy season 3 came out on Netflix, roughly around the same time the film Blue Story came out, which was documenting the historical beef between Peckham and Lewisham. The actor who played Jamie, Michael Ward, was also simultaneously playing the main Peckham character in Blue Story. Fine. What was the best point of Blue Story to me from an authenticity and realism thing? Khali best.
Sorry. Sometimes I get faces mixed up, innit? Don't watch nothing.
That dude is an actor, born in 1990, flexing like he was born in 1980.
Don't watch nothing.
I was living in Lewisham sides in the late 90s, early 2000s. Do you know how many dudes I come across like the Khali Best character, Keon? Hey, where you from, blood? Hey, what, are you white or Turkish?
What you saying? Where you from? I swear I know you.
I swear I know you.
I swear I know you.
That is realism.
What you saying? Where you from?
That is realism, bruv. Yeah? So what did they do now? They saw Blue Story. They saw the fact they had Jamie from Top Boy in Blue Story. They said, right, we've got to poach that Khali Best character and put him in. We're going to put him in as a Peckham man. Even though to me, he was so ingrained in Blue Story as a ghetto boy.
You f***ing Peckham, you blood.
It's hard for me to even believe that he's a Peckham man, but fine, it's still South East London. The Sully character is depressed and he doesn't want any of the street life anymore. But then this Pebbles girl comes along and says, I've got in trouble with these dudes and these Peckham guys, please save me. And now Sully wants to be the big saviour. He goes to save her, but you've got Keon from Blue Story saying, nah, blood, you got to compensate that.
Furthermore, all of that, blood. That's too much chatting, you know. And that's got to get compensated still.
Because he's one of them South dudes who's not interested in talking. He likes beefing, bruv. I'm like, that's great, but you came with a contrived storyline, and then before he even got a chance to flex his acting muscles, he's killed off. It was just a 2-episode of an 8-episode series subplot. Rather than having a silly, contrived 2-episode story, instead of that, very concisely, with all this Netflix money you now have, you could have a backstory of when Sully and Deshane were kids in the 90s. You could have got the Khali Best character. Like I say, he's very reminiscent of what London was like in the late 90s, early 2000s, even mid 90s. You could have had them going to jungle raves when they're 12, 13, getting brought into over 18s raves because they're with the olders. You could have had the Khali Best actor as an older, and the flashback scene. That would have been way better. And you've got these big bucks. You want to do innovative stuff with this Top Boy platform of a show where you feel like you can do anything. Domestic violence, Morocco, Spain, this, that, the third. If you want to really do a real representation of this London rude boy stuff, you could have had a flashback scene set in the 90s. You could have had it when they were 12, 13 in jungle raves, when they were 17, 18 in garage raves. Because you've got Netflix money, really make London look like it did in the 90s. With shitty cars, Renaults and Megans and Ford Escorts. And that's why like some standard Beamer and Mercedes in the 90s was a big deal, because you had bare shit cars in the 90s, bro. You could have come with that instead of all this Liverpool Scouser baddies. Like every time you see them on screen, get them off. F*** off. Clarification, I'm not knocking the actors who played the characters, but the characterization itself had no business on Top Boy. Hence, f*** off. Last point, you can't tell me, oh, because of COVID, like they had to do these silly plot lines about the domestic violence with the Red Dwarf bad guys. Nah, bruv, nah. Like, that's a writing issue. That's not a COVID, we can't film, social distance issue. The goofiness of this season hurt the overall integrity of Top Boy. So I'm like, how many more seasons can they go after this funny business, yeah? So, that's my little rant, yeah? If you made it this far, thank you very much. Feel free to like and subscribe, and you can keep watching my content. Peace.